Hello there, Jose Rodriguez here. In this video I'm going to discuss a little problem that occurs often when one switches to a third-party type pigment-based ink. Specifically, I'm referring to those utilized by EPSON printers such as the 2400, 2880, 3000, the 3800 series, the 3880 series, and up. These types of printers either use regular magenta or vivid magenta. But when you switch over to save some money over to third-party inks, you will often find out that the colors that are influenced by magenta appear practically matte if you're printing on glossy paper or luster or even some of the satin paper surfaces. So how to solve that? Well, the only way is to use OEM inks or possibly John Cohn's inks, which are very well designed and are practically the same gloss characteristics as OEM. Now, here's a sample of OCP from Germany, magenta inks. These are basically the first release of vivid magenta ink for the K3 ink system. Matte. They're great on matte paper, but they're matte on glossy paper. They will actually, if you print a photo of a red car, the red car will appear matte, whereas the rest of the scene or anything that does not utilize too much magenta will appear fairly nice and glossy. So it's just not suitable for printing on glossy papers. So what do? We use possibly refillable carts. Say for instance, take the 2880, which uses the vivid magenta inks, or the EPSON R3000. And now we have a couple of newcomers in the EPSON line, the C600 and the C800, I believe it's called. These utilize a different inks set, but I suspect it's quite similar. And eventually we will have an option for those printers as far as third-party inks and cartridges go. Anyway, so go to eBay and search for Vivid Magenta 110 ml. And you might come across some good deals. I bought these, I think this was $12, and I believe this one was about $22. Well, what does that do? This actually takes your OCP ink set, which, by the way, I last year bought I think it was 16-ounce set, 9 bottles, 16 ounces, shipped to my home, was $90 from Arjet Tech. Arjet Tech is a U.S. distributor for OCP. Okay, so you do the math. That is an amazing price. Now, if you're using the magenta, again, keep it for all of your matte work, matte surfaces, fine art papers that are matte. Beautiful, awesome results. Not so for glossy. So you're going to have to substitute the magentas with the best choice that there is, and that is OEM. So get yourself some of these, substitute those magenta for these, and you should be good to go. There might be a slight shift in color because remember, ink sets are matched to themselves. So they're actually calibrated as a set. When you introduce or create a so-called hybrid set of inks, you may have to reprofile your printer to the paper and the new ink set so that you can get back to a neutral result. For instance, if you were to print in black and white, you would actually end up with a neutral black and white print rather than one that has a color cast, which might be the case once you make that switch. But this will bring you back to an almost perfect condition. Remember, it will not be perfect, but you will have a lot glossier reds, pinks, purples, oranges, any color that utilizes magenta will not be as matte as it normally appears when you simply use OCP or any other third-party ink other than Cone. Okay, this does not apply to Cone inks. Now, to give you a little rundown on price, Cone sells for about 100 ml, $26, $27. You can catch it on sale, maybe get a little better buy, or buy larger volumes. This one cost me $12. This one cost me about $30. So this is a little bit more expensive than Cone, but this brings me to OEM quality. Now, image specialist inks that are being sold by many other companies out there, it ranges about 110 ml for about $12, And again, if you buy larger volumes, you get cheaper price per ml. So do your math. The best combination would be either Image Specialist. OCP is the lowest cost. I was going to say cheapest, but there's nothing cheap about this ink. It's very, very good ink. It's just not glossy. The magenta, that is. The rest of the colors are fine. And then you just substitute, either you can go with just cone inks, cone magenta, and substitute that, and you'll be good to go. That way your price per ml or price per print will be kept rather low. You'll get the advantage of the cheaper cost OCP or cheaper cost Image Specialist inks. And then you just insert the higher cost of this OEM ink or cone inks for the magentas. Do your math, figure it out, and you'll still be ahead of the game. Alright, so if you like this video, please subscribe, please share, and if you like it, please like it, of course. And until the next time, happy printing. Bye-bye.